Our Oral Histories is a presentation of songs, poems, and stories created by visually impaired seniors in workshops from July through August 2020. Workshops were led by poet Dave Johnson with the support of artist Susan Fleminger and assistant teaching artists Omar Ovalle and Napoleon Felipe. The workshops are a partnership between Teachers and Writers Collaborative and Visions Services for the Blind and Visually Impaired. This event took place on August 31st, 2020. Work presented here is by the Visionaries. The Visionaries are Sharon Joyner, Carmen Becker, Deborah Zanka, Lyda Schoenfeld, Randall B. Gillis, Donna Madnick, Liz Hernandez, Teresa Castellano, Hashim Kirkland, Yvonne Whitehurst, K.K. Hegland, Carolina Volo, John Farrard, Mary Connor, Helen Wong, and Elizabeth Tarr. And now, Dave Johnson.
We want to welcome not only all of our participants and friends and family, but our donors who are here that make this program possible. And to make that introduction, I'm going to ask Asari Beal, the Executive Director of Teachers and Writers, who is with us today, to say a word or two and introduce us to the program.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you everybody for joining today. I know I'm super excited to hear everyone's performances. Dave shared for me some of the things created in earlier workshops, and so I know it's going to be good. Really looking forward to it. Just to give a brief summary of Teachers and Writers Collaborative and what we do. Teachers and Writers Collaborative was founded in 1967. We're one of the oldest Writers in the Schools programs. And what that means is we work with writers and other artists to go into schools, into community centers and other settings to do art workshops like the one that we're gonna hear from today. As I said, we have most of our programs are in New York City public schools, but in the last few years, we've increased our programs in senior centers throughout the city, and we're really delighted to work there. Today, so this workshop, as Dave said earlier, came about from the strong desire from the regular folks who are participating in our workshop at the Vision Center to continue meeting over the summer. And we were really fortunate to receive funding to be able to offer this program from Aroha Philanthropies and from Agnes Gunn. And I'd like to welcome Lindsay Lewis and Sarah Trebeldis from Aroha Philanthropies who are joining us on the call today. So with that said, I'm gonna pass it back to Dave so that we can get started. Thank you and welcome to everyone.
Thank you, Asari. Thank you to Teachers and Writers for making this all happen. And thank you to the donors, to Aroha and to Agnes Gunn for their generosity in making this happen, especially such a crucial moment that we could keep this alive and going. Programming that, of course, we were doing in person. So thank you very much for all of your assistance with this. Okay, so we're going to get this thing started. Again, we're going to mute everyone minus the speaker, and I'll give you just sort of a running call just so you guys will know when you'll be going. First up, we have Sharon Joyner, and then Carmen Becker will be on deck, and then following her will be Deborah Zanka. Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. My first one is 10 questions that make you go, 1. Do trees have birthdays? 2. How do the oceans know to stay in their places? 3. How do birds know when to fly south? 4. How did the virus spread so quickly? 5. How does the zodiac control our personalities like Aries and Pisces? 6. Where does the wind start and end? 7. Why do dogs wag their tails when they're happy and cats wag them when they're annoyed? 8. How does the earth spin without us feeling it? 9. How does the sun rise and set every day? And 10. How do the seasons change and gravity exist if there's no one controlling it? Those are my 10 questions, and now I will do my poem, Mother, how I was blessed to have you. My mom has passed away, so I'm talking to her now. Hi, Mom. I just want to tell you some things that I didn't get to say when you were here with me. Mom, you were smarter than you thought you were. I remember when, unfortunately, I went blind while I was in the hospital. I went in with my sight after the fall, but something happened with the type of medication they gave me, and my nerves just atrophied. When it was time for me to go home, your immediate problem was to guide me. How you just decided to allow me. Sorry, guys. Let me start back. When it was time for me to go home, your immediate problem was how to guide me. You decided just to allow me to take your arm, finding out later that was the proper technique. Your mother had gone blind as well from diabetes, soon passing away from it. So I know that all of this was a bit overwhelming for you. I came home with a paralyzed right arm, and the doctors had showed you some exercises to do with me every day, which was very painful. Mom, remember? You decided to go to the store and get a jump rope. We turned it together every day. Then I started jumping with the rope on my own, and voila, to this day, I have no trouble with my arm, all because of your ingenious idea. Mom, I know that when you traveled with me, you felt guilty. You would say, there could be a homeless person on the train, yet still they stare at me. Ma, it was not your fault that I went blind. It was either meant to be or it was medically induced. An eye doctor told me as an adult that the medication that was given me in the hospital is no longer on the market. I understand that to mean the medication didn't only affect me detrimentally, but other people as well. But being blind isn't all bad. I've lived a good life and had experiences that my cousins and some friends were never given a chance to do without paying for it. In my private school that you sent me to for free, I learned how to play the organ and the piano. I experienced going cross-country skiing and was on a track team. In the summer, I went for free to an expensive camp in Vermont. I went camping, didn't like it too much, but it was an interesting trip. I did like roasting marshmallows and making s'mores. The food was great. I learned how to row a boat and was taught the different names of the sides of it. I even learned how to tie different kinds of knots, what they teach the Girl Scouts, although I don't remember it now, but it was fun during that time. I'll never forget camping. So, Mom, what I'm trying to say is that I was blessed to have you as my mother, and I thank you very much for what you taught me, including taking your life in your hands by teaching me to cook. But that was a blessing, too, because people love your recipes. Mom, you done good, and I love you very much. Also, you would be proud of your grandson. He's turned out to be a smart and respectful young man, not on drugs or alcohol. Okay, Mom, I'm finished talking your ear off. You can go back to rest. Oh, say hi to Grandma. The end.
Wow.
I'm going to leave my phone out.
That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Conversations with my mother. That is going to be a one-person show on Broadway coming to you soon. Brilliant work. Brilliant work. Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Beautiful,
Brian.
Sharon. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
Very
you.
beautiful.
Thank you, Sharon.
That was
Thank you.
beautiful, Sharon. That
I was
so
touched from my heart and my soul.
Oh,
I was touched
yes,
from my heart and soul.
absolutely.
Thank you for blessing me with it. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Beautiful and
Praise
deep, Sharon.
God.
Your mother would have been proud to have
Oh,
heard.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
I can only imagine your mother is listening right now saying, "That's my girl. That's my girl."
Beautiful job,
Very
Sharon.
beautiful, Sharon.
Wow. Okay, that is brilliant stuff. Next up, we have Carmen Becker.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, my first piece is 10 questions minus 2. And if you can subtract, you know what that means. If all the people on Earth were born different hues of blue, would the sky be different colors? Would the tulips turn upside down if you avoided skipping? Why does thunder and storms and the bright, shiny lightning bring us darkness? Why can't we be the light that paves the way to freedom and out of bondage? Where does the filament in the light bulb go when there is no more light? If music is pleasing to our ears, why does it not give the remaining parts of our bodies something? If bubbles from soap clean clothes, will the bubbles of a soap gun clean the air? Why am I sitting here writing these questions when I don't have any answers? My second piece is Ode to the Onion. The root of the onion is in the soil. You can roast, fry, or broil. It gives flavor to all my dishes and makes everything delicious. While I'm slicing, I am crying. But why scold myself for buying? For I know when I sit down to eat, I am giving myself a great treat. I raise my glass and salute you for flavoring my dishes. Whenever I serve you, O onion, I receive good wishes. My final piece is It Happened in Woodstock. My friend Margaret bought some land in Woodstock, New York, and built a house. She moved from White Plains, New York, and the house was moved on a hydraulic suspension system to Woodstock. This system adjusted to the road so that no part of the house would be unduly stressed on the way. This was indeed a wonder. I promised Margaret many times I would visit, but something always came up. When I finally decided to visit her, I also was going to let her know that I finally decided to get into therapy. However, there was a festival going on, so I postponed the visit until the festival was over. When I finally visited Margaret in September, she explained to me how her house was delivered, the pipes installed, etc., etc. We drove into the town of Woodstock. While in the car, I told her my decision to go into therapy. She stopped the car, gave me a big hug, and told me this was a big step and that she was proud of me. We both cried for a few minutes. We continued driving and stopped into a record store. Records of Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, the Grateful Dead, Joan Baez, etc. were playing. When I heard Joe Cocker singing these words, I was imagining singing to the therapist I had yet to meet. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. All I need is a little help from my friend. All I need is a little help from my friend. As I was listening to these words, I was thinking how the first visit with my therapist would be. Would she listen to my baggage? Would she take me on as a client? Would she really listen to me? Would she hear me? She did all those things through the years, and I am still a work in progress. She lent me her ears, and I sang her many a song, and the melodies linger on. The end.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Awesome.
That was
I
amazing.
love that.
Awesome, Carmen.
It's
Carmen.
wonderful,
That was
Carmen.
beautiful.
Oh,
Excellent.
Carmen.
Excellent.
Wow.
So
Beautiful.
Thank you.
insightful. That was
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Very, very nice.
Oh,
So powerful.
Oh, praise
That was
God.
amazing.
That was wonderful.
Thank
Wow.
you.
And if you sing out of tune, I will not mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Me neither.
Good. I enjoyed it. It was beautiful.
Me
Thank
neither.
you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Me too. I enjoyed it very much as well.
yes.
Thank you, John.
Yes. Well,
You're
Carmen
welcome.
always gives great stuff.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she does.
Oh,
Good
you don't know
story.
me, Carmen. I'm Gail. Hi.
Gail,
You did
hi.
lovely.
Hi, thank
Thanks for
you.
coming in, Gail, and listening to us.
Oh,
Thank you,
Thank you for
thank
being
you.
there.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
I want to let you know my brother Michael is listening, and he said you guys are doing an excellent job.
Aw.
Oh,
Thank you.
That was nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
All right.
we'll also
All right.
tell that Carmen has written her memoirs as well. So just so you guys know, she's been working on that and working on publishing that as well. So she's been very
Awesome.
busy, very busy.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, next up is Deborah Zanka. Deborah?
That's me. I'm here. Okay. 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 The first song I'm going to do is about my favorite beverage in the whole wide world, coffee. And it is called A Good Cup of Coffee. A good cup of coffee, my first cup of coffee, gets me going every morning. A good cup of coffee, my next cup of coffee, keeps me going every day. Sometimes I like more than two, but most of all, I like that first cup. 'Cause a good cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee keeps me going every day. I like all kinds of flavors, from hazelnut to mocha latte, but a good cup of coffee, any cup of coffee, gets me going every morning. A good cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee keeps me going every day. That was short and kind of sweet, I guess. Now, the next one I'm going to do, I'm sure a number of you are familiar with Nat King Cole's Ramblin' Rose. Well, I did I made up lyrics. I wrote lyrics for the song dedicated to my grandma, Esther Rose Zitzer Paris. Grandma Rose, Grandma Rose, how I miss you, heaven knows. You were a lady, never shady, and I sing to my Grandma Rose. Your kind heart tops my chart of the people who made me smart. You had beauty, you had wisdom, all the good things a grandma should be. Grandma Rose, Grandma Rose, how I miss you, heaven knows. You were a lady, never shady, and I sing to my Grandma Rose. Now, the third song I'm going to do is in honor of my mother, Ethel Audrey Paris, who passed away in 1971 at the age of nearly 46. And she used to direct shows and plays at the Fair Lawn Jewish Center in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And a song I'm going to sing is from a play that she directed. Some of you may know of it, some of you not. It's called Guys and Dolls. And I'm just doing the main solo part at this point. It's called Take Back Your Mink, sung by Adelaide, one of the characters in the show. Take back your mink, take back your pearls. What made you think that I was one of those girls? Take back the gown, the shoes, and the hat. I may be down, but I'm not flat as all that. I thought that each expensive gift you'd arranged was a token of your esteem. Now when I think of what you want in exchange, it all seemed a horrible dream. So take back your mink to from whence it came, and tell 'em to Hollanderize it for some other day. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Thank
you.
you.
All right, Debbie.
All right, very good.
Awesome. Good job, Deborah.
I really
I know
enjoy your
you-
songs.
Fun. Thank you.
I know your grandmother would
Thanks
like
for sharing.
beautiful.
Deborah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
God
Cup
bless
of coffee
you,
is my
honey.
favorite one.
The coffee is your favorite one?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
That was-
Coffee.
That gets us going.
Coffee, yeah.
It's very
Absolutely.
All of them. Coffee is beautiful. Coffee is the
The
best.
contract is in the mail. The contract is in the mail.
Why, thank you.
Good.
Fantastic, Deborah. That's really wonderful. And just for you guys who are visiting, to just give you a little insight about some of the workshops. One of the things we talked about were songs and stories from our own personal histories and our personal past. And so that's what you're hearing sometimes when they're singing certain songs. They're thinking in terms of memories that those songs bring back, right? And so this one obviously was a show that her mother, that Deborah's mother, had directed, right? So thank you for that. It's beautiful, beautiful work. Next up is Lyda with us, Lyda Schoenfeld. Lyda, can you hear us?
Oh, here I am.
There you
Sorry.
go. There you go. That's
Yes.
okay. Okay. You're up.
I forgot I muted myself.
Okay.
All right. All right. This is a poem about our unfortunately ever-present at the moment virus. And it's about how to cope and transcend with it. And the poem is called Love and Spirit. Love and spirit, that's what we've got. COVID blasting down on us as disease and disaster ravage the world, leaving in its wake almost more pain and loss than we can bear. It's all too easy to see the glass half empty, so hard to see the other half thrivingly full. When life feels at its hopeless lowest, then I look within to find God's infinite healing love, letting Him bring me beyond the sky to where wholeness and oneness rule and win the day. And when I feel all is lost to me but the suffering, I remind myself that love and spirit are all we've got to make ourselves and then the world better, nicer, stronger for all we have endured. The times I find myself becoming my own worst enemy, closed off, isolated, frustrated down through the very core of my frozen soul, I reach my spirit to the highest realm for God to soothe and cure and enlighten my hardened heart, my darkened soul. Divine light dispels my inner darkness of desperate thoughts and anxious, overwhelming fears. My spirit flies free, a calming strength surging through me as I envision the larger picture of a brighter pathway where love and spirit take me from my depths to where I should be, who I need to be. Love and spirit keep guiding us along life's road. To survive and transcend, we must gain an inner strength to withstand trials with names such as Corona Killer Virus. Inner spirit and strength sustain us here till our time comes around on God's calendar for each of us to be taken to the highest heights forever. Till such time, though remaining earthbound, our bodies strengthen as our spirit connect us to where we could reach out feeling safe to hold hands and merge our hearts and minds against utter darkness with all its viral unknowns. Though socially distant, we stand spiritually connected, united link with link in God's ever-encircling chain. Now we are certain such viral suffering cannot last. To know the joys to come, here and then beyond, we must stay strong, extending long arms of prayer and love to take part in and partake of universal healing. However long it takes for viral darkness to fade away and for health and life to be restored, we must resolve to stay the course. Our bodies will connect with the life spirit rejuvenating within. And there God's love and care come with the cure. So as heart sings to heart, joining in love to affirm life and hope, we embrace love and spirit. That's all we've got to see us through to better days. Thank you very much. The end.
You're very welcome.
Wow.
Amen. Amen.
Deborah,
All right.
thank
Very good.
Amen, Lida.
Oh, Lida, that was wonderful.
Lida.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
It's so
That
was
very
great.
nice.
Beautiful.
I feel
so
Amazingly
Very
well
nice.
written.
Wow.
I feel
Nice,
sorry
Lida.
for who have to go on
Hey.
after you. I really feel sorry for anybody who's going on after you. I'm real sorry. It was tremendous. That was tremendous.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Right from your heart.
Amen. And thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Professional
Full
I'm
hour.
glad I could share it, even though I was not present for the class. I'm glad I definitely could share it, and I want to thank Dave for that opportunity.
Thank you, Lida.
I'm so glad you was able to share it. It's so beautiful.
Really
Beautiful, Lida.
Fair Tree
It's like
Lipton.
mayonnaise on a sandwich. It was so smooth.
Spiritually. Lida,
That's
it's
good. I
spiritually.
love mayonnaise on
Leave
the
it to
sandwich,
Randall
too.
to use
Definitely the
I'll
mayonnaise on
prepare
a
for lunch
sandwich.
after this.
Yes.
Spiritually. Lida.
You know,
Nice way to put it.
I just wanted to say something real quickly. You know how sometimes you'll see like a play and you'll see like the reviews and the quotes and stuff like that? And you'll see it like right there, mayonnaise on a sandwich, really smooth, huh?
Yes, 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 yes.
Lida, good review.
Hey, yes.
Yes.
Lida, you're like a rainbow. Thank you.
Oh,
Ooh.
thank you very much.
Oh.
Oh, that's really wonderful.
I love it, Lida. You're like a rainbow.
It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Lida, for sharing that.
I love to
That was
visualize
very,
a rainbow, actually. Yeah. Thank you. I was glad to do it.
Well, it really does give us hope and spirit. So thank you for that. Thank you.
yeah.
You're
We
welcome.
needed it.
What we all need.
Oh, I
And-
thought that might be the case because
Yes.
of what we all have to deal with right now. Yeah.
And we always ask and think of you and Megan every
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
thank
yes.
you. I'll tell her she's
Yes.
with the doctors now, but I will tell her when she comes back.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Okay, Randall, you have to follow that. You're up next. Yes, you are.
Whoa, I hear that.
Good.
You're up.
Here we
Let's
go.
get the mayonnaise on the sandwich again.
Get the
Yes,
mayonnaise out.
indeed.
He's gonna be the meat.
Silver lining to the rainbow. Oh, he'll be fine.
Yes, indeed.
Randall,
That's
you
why
will
he
see the
said
silver
what he
lining.
said.
The silver lining to her rainbow.
Okay, I dedicate I dedicate this song to everybody in Visions, those who are listening, those who are going to be hearing this after. I dedicate this song to you. It's called What a Wonderful World, and it's by Louis Armstrong. And the reason why I picked it is because by you being a visually impaired person, a lot of times people don't understand. We depend on other people's sight. And this is how it goes. I see Scott, and me put it in there, get the tongue out and everything. Here we go. I see trees are green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies are blue and clouds are white. The brightest daylight, the sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of a rainbow are so pretty in the sky. Also are the faces that pass me by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They much knowledge I may never know, but I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to turn around and do one of my writings. And the first one I'm going to do is Meatloaf, because I love Meatloaf. The title of it is Meatloaf is Nothing But a Big Meatball. Yes, people. Did you know that? Yes. Meatloaf is nothing but a big meatball. Do you love meatloaf? I love meatloaf. I can't get enough of it. Do you realize it's meatloaf is nothing but a big meatball? Yes, people. People, a big meatball. Who would have ever known meatloaf is a big meatball? A meatball, yes, a meatball. I love meatballs. I think that's why I love meatloaf. I mean, you can basically put anything in it, and it makes moist, and it's instant of any round circle, like a meatball. It's whatever shape you want to be, and it is a meatball. Yes, meatball. Let me give you the recipe for Randall's meatloaf. 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 2 eggs, a cup of oatmeal or breadcrumbs, 2 spoons of ketchup or mustard, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of raisins for the sweetness, 1 stick of butter or margarine, 1 big bowl to mix everything in, 2 pounds of ground beef or turkey, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Place everything in a bowl pan. Set your oven over 35 to 350 for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how hot your oven gets. Get a regular serving up to 20 people per serving, or depends on how much you eat. And the serving size is, let me give you the history of meat loaf. Did you know that the first record received for the modern day American meatloaf is from the late 1870s, according to the food historians Aaron Stockman, who took us that instruction of the cook to finally chop whatever good meats you have. That is the meat that you said would likely be beef, because New Orleans, they killed their cows before the winter. When feeding them would be proven more difficult than to try to take full an average of every last piece of the beats of the meat. Looking for the use for that cheap cut, meatloaf was such a use. To chop beef like they added people, salt, onions, slices of milk, soaked bread, eggs, you will find your own very way of ingredients as well, step by step. Imagine a meatball recipe today. But then Smart says, meatloaf, what is it for dinner? Meatloaf was not originally for dinner, it was for breakfast. Did you know that? Can you imagine that? A slice of heaven, yes, meatloaf, a cup of coffee, or the trimmings, yes. People imagine any shape meatloaf, known as a big meatball. Yes. Now, didn't that make your tongue watery? I don't know about you, but I need a towel. My tongue is watering.
Okay. Meatballs.
So let's go to the next one. Fried chicken. Oh my goodness, I got some grease on me right now.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Okay, here we go. Fried chicken. You remember me at that day? Fried chicken. I was waiting a long time ago, and I have got back the course of $3 in a Harlem day. Fried chicken, welcome back. Fried chicken, if you was a woman, I eat you right now. Fried chicken, if you was a drink, I drink you right now. Fried chicken, if you was close to me, I will put you on right now. Fried chicken, if you was deodorant, I will rub on you right now. Fried chicken, if you was a spray, I would spray you all over me. Fried chicken, a food I love in my mouth. Fried chicken, a common food in the South. Fried chicken, you taste so excellently good. Fried chicken, I will love you like I should. Fried chicken, so crispy, so very brown. Fried chicken will always want you around. Fried chicken, I make my words so sexy with rice. Fried chicken, I wish you was not just a poem. Fried chicken, I cannot wait to get you home. Fried chicken, the gravy is so hot, the grease is so hot. Fried chicken, I hope you never stop. Fried chicken, 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 fried chicken. Can you smell it? Fried chicken. Well, I'm done, people. I don't know about you, but my mouth is watering.
That was wonderful, Randall.
All
That was very fun.
Yeah, well, you made me hungry there, Randall.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Now I know what I'm going to get for lunch.
I'm hungry.
Chicken.
Meatloaf and fried chicken. Yeah.
Thank you,
Randall.
You're welcome. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
That
We
was
all have a
great. I'm
hankering
so
for
hungry
fried
now.
chicken now.
That was
Thank you,
very
Randall.
good. I'm gonna
Fried
eat
chicken for
meatloaf
lunch.
for breakfast now.
Meatloaf and coffee for breakfast.
Exactly.
Oh,
There you go.
wow.
And a
Fried
good cup
chicken
of
for
coffee.
lunch.
Have dinner.
Yeah, that was really good. I could almost taste it.
And
Thank you.
Me
I can
too.
almost believe meatloaf was for breakfast.
yeah.
Wow.
You
I
really
used to
taught
have-
us something today. That's great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My
Little
mother
history.
passed away 6 years ago today, and one of the things I remember. Excuse me to interrupt anybody, but
No, go ahead.
one of the things I remember is when she made fried meatballs on Sunday morning, and we had them in a sandwich, and she sometimes had a little sauce on them when she made the sauce. Tomato sauce. It was so beautiful. She made some
Right,
of the sauce.
Randall, you brought back these for Gail.
Yeah,
Yes,
you gotta write that story, Gail. You gotta write that story. That's fantastic.
I
Yes.
will.
Yeah. That's
I will
good
read that
stuff.
one definitely.
Gail, join our.
Good job, Randall. You got everybody writing.
Thank you.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Good job.
Wonderful.
One of the things we did write about, we talked about this summer too, was how food brings you back to a place in your own history, your personal history. So that is really compelling that with the piece that Randall created, that it sparks our own stories as we listen, right? And so we think about how food relates to our own personal history.
Yes, absolutely.
I wrote a song for the last workshop called Sunday Dinner Song, and it was about.
Oh
when I
yeah,
was-
that's the one we
Remember
translated
that?
into Italian too, right?
Yeah.
We had
Yes,
that
you
one in
did.
Italian,
Oh,
right.
did.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Right.
Okay, next up we have Donna Madnick. Donna, are you with us? I'm gonna see if you can unmute Donna. Now we hear you. Yes,
Okay,
Donna.
you can
Yeah.
hear me now? 'Cause it's
Yes,
closed.
we hear you now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. What are we doing first?
What would you like to do? I have on tap 3 pieces. Turquoise Blue was all the rage, West End Avenue in 1977, and Folk Songs Trail Overseas.
I'll do the last piece. Okay.
Okay, so would you like me to read one of them for you or with you?
I wanted you to read the second one, and maybe I wanted Napoleon to read the turquoise, but I don't know if he has.
Okay.
I have Turquoise is all the rage. I have a copy.
Okay,
of it.
can you read that, Napoleon? Thank you. Just so you guys know, we had get a chance to introduce everybody. We also have some incredible teachers that are involved in this program too. And I'll take a moment to introduce Napoleon Felipe and Omar Ovale. And Omar's there. And Susan, I know I saw Susan here. There's 50 people. There you are. Susan Newmark. Visual artist who also works with us as well. So we have a wonderful team. So Napoleon is going to read a piece now with Donna.
I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. I wasn't expecting to read.
Okay.
Okay. But I am honored to share Donna's pieces. I'm always been enamored by her story. She's such a wonderful storyteller. So thank you, Donna, for giving me the opportunity to read for you.
I sent you an updated one, but I don't know if you have it.
Yes, I do. I believe I do here. The one that I have was sent 7 days ago.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, so I have it on here. So the title is Turquoise Blue Was All the Rage by Donna Madnick. The year was 1963, still living at 90th Street and Lexington Avenue, right above Gristedes grocery store. I was in the 6th grade. I was usually made fun of by other people because of my last name was Greedy, and I was called Four Eyes. But this time, I really did it. Our teachers told us to write about the Beatles, who, unbeknownst to me, had been on the Ed Sullivan Show. So I wrote an essay about Beetles, Beatles, the bug. In my home, we were singing mostly folk songs. I was still wet behind the ears. I did know that my mother's birthday was coming up, My mother would make a list of things she wanted, big ticket items mixed in with more affordable ones. Like this, a fur coat, leather gloves, a turquoise necklace, etc., etc. My sisters and I would pool our money together and begin the hunt. I had often seen my mother in colorful jewelry, usually from other countries we had visited. Blue turquoise was her favorite. There was a Mideastern jewelry gift shop in the subway station at Lexington and 86th Street station. Right before reaching a street level, my mother would often stop and look into any jewelry window she passed, and there were no exceptions. In the very front, there was a bold leather cord necklace strung with large turquoise donkey beads. Its bright colors stood out, begging me to get it for her. My sister and I purchased it on our own. Though I can't remember the price, we also got her a small ashtray with the swans and dancing hippos from the Fantasia Disney movie. We wrapped them and couldn't wait until we left school and she got home from work so that we could give it to her. However, while in class, we learned that President Kennedy had been shot and later died. Tears were flowing with the thought, now what will happen? Yes, my mother's birthday is on November 22nd. It was a very solemn day, but the deep color of the donkey beads cheered us up. I never forgot those donkey beads. My youngest sister had most of my mother's jewelry after she died, mostly the costume type. I had asked her if the donkey beads were still there, and they were. I now have them in my possession. I have no idea if it was real turquoise stone or if it was a painted bead. The bold, deep turquoise color with its memory will always be with me. Turquoise Blue was all the rage by Donna Mandy.
Nice. Here's the turquoise beads.
How nice.
I'm so curious now. I would love to see, if you still have it, oh, you have it.
Yeah, I want to see it. Show me. Show me. I want to see it.
Donna, if you can turn to your left, if you can pivot to your left on camera.
Okay.
And then raise it up slightly.
Wow. Wow. Those are so beautiful.
Really beautiful.
Wow.
Hey, Mom, I'm here. Mom, it's me, Drasanna, your daughter.
Oh, you got a daughter in the audience.
Oh, that's so totally awesome. Hi, daughter. How you doing?
Hi, Drasanna.
Doing great. I've been loving listening in on everything. I've been muted the whole time, but I've been loving this. I remember my mom screaming at me for borrowing them to school one day.
Well, there's the story. We have another story.
That's the story. Wow.
There has to be a part two. There has to be a part two.
Definitely. I want part 2 and 3.
Part 2. It was the daughter's rage. Turquoise.
You're lucky you're still alive.
I'm gonna be honest though, that's a very beautiful color. I was trying to imagine what that looked like, a turquoise blue, and then I'm thinking to myself, when you presented it, why wouldn't it be all the rage now still? That's such a beautiful color.
Yes, so much.
It is.
It's very good, Donna.
It was well written. I like that.
If they're still shining like that, they probably are real.
Well,
the turquoise probably is real.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All right, Dave, you're up next.
Okay, so you want West End Avenue? Is that the next one? Okay, this one is called West End Avenue, 1977.
Oh.
Okay. Delivery, I think. Okay. Okay. All right. West End Avenue, 1977. I was eager to catch the Greyhound bus from Elmira, New York, going to the Port Authority bus terminal down in the city. My mother had blown in from Seattle, and we would be staying at her longtime friend's apartment on West End Avenue. Jean Richardson first became part of our family working as a social worker with my mother at Calicut Hall and walking picket lines in 1965. I too consider her to be a very close friend to me as well. She had always been the one I contacted in case of an emergency or stayed with when I was in the city. You see, after I graduated from Roosevelt Junior Senior High School in 1970, My mother and future stepfather moved to Washington State while I started college in New York, 60 miles south of Buffalo. Needless to say, I had made the decision soon after this move to stay in the state. My vision had started to be cloudy, and after another minor calamity, I had called Dr. De La Fuentes, a low vision specialist at the Industrial Home for the Blind, wanting an MD referral, one who deals with cataracts. I was 23 years old then, but was first diagnosed with this at age 12 by an eye doctor in Iran. The comment always was, yes, you have one in your right eye, but it isn't ready to come out yet. I was seen by Dr. Charles Coleman, the pioneer in cataract surgery, who found a non-invasive way of using ultrasonic vibrations from a tip similar to what dentists used at the time, leaving the eye intact. This came about in 1967. He was a musician playing the saxophone, had played with famous jazz musicians, performing at Carnegie Hall and appearing on many talk TV shows. His office was in the Empire State Building, where he'd take a helicopter to Doctors Hospital on Long Island. I was to have a cataract removed from my right eye, not the left one, as it had been too damaged at birth. The fee for surgery was $1,800, which had to be paid right then up front ahead of surgery. In the previous week, speaking to my mother by phone, Mom, I'm really nervous about the surgery because it'll be the first time my eye will actually get cut. What if I go totally blind? Remember the time when I woke up in the family cabin at Mount Rainier in the middle of the night and thought I was blind? I couldn't see my hand in front of my face, and I even have to pay $1,800 up front. I know you're scared, Donna, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I can't wait to see you. It'll be great to see Jean and spend some time in the city.
No, it was
Mom,
the phone. I was gonna
all the patients having surgery have to meet at his office on Wednesday at 1, and then we'll be driven by limousine. I have to find out when I need to pay him ahead of time. She didn't respond to the money issue at all, and I didn't bring this up either. On one of my college summers home, she had reminded me that she paid for a two-way plane ticket, and the next time she did that, she'd want me to stay with her for the whole time. At that time, I vowed to not let her help me with money in the future. But now, living on my own upstate in the middle of nowhere, money was tight. I ended up getting a small savings bank loan with 18% interest. It paid the immediate bill, but didn't really help me out in the long run. Mother was already there. Having come a few days earlier, I was eager to update them on my social work job and life. And while sitting in Jean's living room, Mother was still working as the budget coordinator of DHSH Services of Washington State, with the governor's office at that time. She would then transition into another administrative social service job in the county. For now, Donna, I'm head administrator of the county's DSHS office dealing with supervisors. But there's an opening for a position auditing other offices in the state. And if I get it, I'll have to do some traveling. I still have some contact with the workers I supervised where we used to live near Longview. You know, your dad is still doing well. Jill and her husband is living in Oregon, close to Northern California. She found a temporary forest ranger job, which she loves. Kimmy's still in high school and is not doing so well. She spoke in a cheerful voice, omitting any low points, and I knew she had over the last few years. Have you seen Jill and Warren lately? She was my married sister. You know, it'd been fun staying with them in a small trailer, picking and packing delicious red apples that other summer when I was there. It was a miracle that I got my civil service position where I work now. I kept getting delayed postal letters for jobs in New York, finding that the deadline to apply had already passed. I had to take my manual typewriter with me, having to apply with the true reason as to why it was late. I just hope for the best. Jean. You're lucky. Things never seem to run smoothly. Jean worked as a social worker supervisor at the Women's Health Gynecological Unit at Metropolitan Hospital. I remember how banged up you were after being hit by that cab crossing the street. It was a sight to see. The bone sticking right out of your leg and a big head concussion. When I finally got to you, you kept saying, Jean Richardson, Metropolitan Hospital, over and over again. I was reached and Donna was in shock. It was a rough time. I know you had to give up your summer job, but you insisted that you'd go on to finish the second year of grad school, no matter what. A lot of help had to be in place, and you were still living alone in Queens. Wow, you survived a big test. You know, that episode of my life had been one catastrophe in another, and I finished most of my goals, but I don't want to stop. I couldn't stand the possibility of just going back home. Then I would be stuck in the middle of nowhere again. At least down here in the city, I can get around. It wasn't easy starting out the school year in a wheelchair and having to go upstairs on my ass everywhere. Later, the leg brace didn't knit the bone back together properly, having another surgery later that summer. I was lucky to be cast free 1 week before my work interview upstate, but enough about me. Gene, how's your family doing down there in Texas? Oh, everybody's okay for the most part. One of my married sons is having some problems with his wife, though. I don't know her very well. She's from Japan, and, well, she doesn't speak much English. I think she may have some issues. I'll see how I can help if my son wants me to do so. Mother wanted us all to get some sleep, and so she left us. I could tell that Jean had her own worries. I hope your surgery goes well, Donna. I'm glad your mother's here. Well, the surgery did go well, but I wasn't a candidate for a lens removal. I did get temporary bottle-like Coke glasses to wear. I did see much better, noting that the color of objects I had bought were sometimes very different than what I thought. Of course, I made frequent trips back to Jean's for medical appointments. She thought back to my mother's visit. You know, I got really depressed after she was here. She was so busy telling me how great her life was going, as if she didn't ever have any problems. You know, it felt unreal. You've been through a lot living in this big city. It's rough out here. I agree with that. Things are not so smooth out here. I prefer the problems of the city, however, even if over Elmira any day. Why do you think I decided to stay here, 3,000 miles away from home? I do miss my sisters like crazy, but if I had gone home, I couldn't have found out who I could be as a separate and my own sane person. I was beginning to find positive outcomes, even when or during negative events, as a way to help me move on, cope with big and small problems that do come. It wasn't easy to do. I'd still have a lot to learn. But I do know this: the good outweighs the bad in the midst of our living. Donna Madden.
Ow.
So we have a little play there,
Yes,
Donna.
yes.
I'm speechless, everybody. I can't say nothing. I'm speechless.
And Donna, you taught us so much about
Me
your
too.
life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Great
listen,
story,
amazing.
Donna.
Amazing. I want to watch the next act.
That was
that was great. That was
excellent.
great. Thank you
Thanks for
very much.
sharing, Donna. Great story.
Wonderful
That was really
to hear
beautiful.
for dialogue. It's really great how it
Yes, he has
bounces.
dialogue, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic work.
Fun. Excellent.
Dialogue, you know. So, well, let me. All right. I'll do the next piece, and it's called "Song Trail Overseas." In 1963, I began to sing songs, and I'm really taken up. Like, I began to sing songs and really like singing a lot of folk songs, and in 1965. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. By 1965, the civil rights movement under Dr. Martin Luther King and his emphasis on nonviolent and peaceful protest provided the groundwork for many movements to come. And during that time, my family friends and colleagues went, were asking for a strike to take place in New York City for the first time in regard to oh boy, I guess I'm nervous. Family and friends and colleagues who work in social service agencies and also welfare offices wanted to strike and ask for lower caseloads, ask for higher pay with health benefits, and an allowance of money to give to their clients for clothing. So on January 1, 1965, that was the first day of the strike in New York City. And it was very well run. We walked the picket lines. It lasted 1 month and it was very successful. We sang lots and lots of songs. And my mother's friend Jean had her friend come from my mother's friend and coworker Jean had her sons come up from Texas with their guitars, and they played a lot of songs during that time. So that's where I started to learn Peter, Paul, and Mary songs and Pete Seeger songs. And I've sung them ever since. So one of the songs I remember was this one, and you have to my singing is not the greatest, but how many times must a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see, or how many times, how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Now I know that was sung by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and yes, Bob Dylan wrote and sang that song, singing it for the first time 3 weeks before Peter, Paul, and Mary sang it in 1962. Later that year, my mother decided that we were all going to go back to Iran. An attempt to reconcile with my father. We would not take a ship there like we did the first time. We would take a ship to France, buy a car, and take our time traveling to Iran. And so with the book Europe on $5 a day and sometimes wet camping gear, we had many adventures. We played geography in the car many times. I practiced converting miles into kilometers when we were on the road, but the best thing I liked to do was singing folk songs, and my mother harmonized. And so that was one of the songs that we sang many times. And it was a great time. We did return in 1967 without my father, and all I can say is singing songs soothe the heart.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Thank you.
Yay.
Fantastic.
Very good, Donna.
That was great, Donna.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so much.
It's very hard to memorize things.
You did a good job. That was really, really good.
Ah,
Really
that was
good.
beautiful. I like that very much.
That was wonderful. Reminder to keep singing.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent, Donna. Very good.
Wow.
I like your voice. Donna, you have a beautiful voice. Keep on doing what you're doing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that's my favorite song. That's my favorite song. The Answer, my friend, is Blowing in the Wind. That's my favorite song.
Well, it's Bob Dylan's way of doing the question story, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. It's a question poem with a song.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Liz. Is Liz around? Liz Hernandez?
I'm here.
Oh, Liz, you're there.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. What would you like to start with? We have ladies.
I'm gonna start off with my 10 questions. And then you could read Lady Sandy and then the pretzel experience, and then I'll sing my song.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. 10 questions, and I titled, Why Am I So Curious? Why does a heart speed up like a racing car when you are near the object of your affection? Whose voice do I hear repeating my name like an echo in the mountains? Mr. Sun, will you poke your nose through my window and chase away the shadows? When can one taste freedom and smell the fresh scent of spring, or see the rainbows after the rain? If you lend me your eyes, could I see the person you really are? If I put you on a pedestal, do you promise not to fall? Hey, teacher, may I lend you my ears when you are ready to teach me? Kathy, let's bury the hatchet. Can we be friends again? Do you promise not to tell when I share my secrets? God, I am working very hard on getting ready. Do you promise me another day? That's it for my questions.
Very nice. So just so you guys know, we have a lot of questions here. We were reading selections from the Chilean poet's Pablo Neruda's book, The Book of Questions. And so we were inspired for a session or two around that idea of writing a book of questions. So the next one Liz wrote is called Lady Sandy. Hey, Lady Sandy, what happened to you before you turned into that hurricane? Did you start your life in New York City where sirens scream 24/7, where motorcycles, buses, and other vehicles roar their engines and blow their horns, where subways rumble and you feel the vibrations beneath your feet? Some human beings smile at one another and others yell obscenities and disrespect the quality of life. Or were you born in the countryside where the sky is blue and you can see puffy white clouds on the horizon, the breeze blowing through leaves in the trees and the birds singing their morning song? You could hear wind chimes in the distance and inhale the fresh cut grass from your neighbor's lawn. You can hear men riding tractors spreading seeds for another season's crops. What a devastating day all over the city, October 28th, 2012, where you took it upon yourself to destroy 53 lives, flood basements and subways, and cause a crane to fall. What happened? What caused you to rise up like a volcano with an 80-mile-an-hour wind, spewing lava and causing destruction in every corner you touched? People were shocked to find their property overturned and to have to assume the financial debt that swept over this whole city. Hey, Sandy, did your fury come from some man overthrowing you for another woman? You know the saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Or did someone hurt your child? You fought like a mama bear, roaring and clawing to express your anger. You're not the first, nor will you be the last woman in history to find yourself in this tortured situation, you know. Even today in 2020, we find ourselves facing ever greater current challenges as we struggle to deal with the effects of this coronavirus and weather predictions for two upcoming hurricanes, Hannah and Douglas. It seems difficult enough to just look back and recall the trauma of notorious hurricanes such as Maria, Katrina, Irene, etc., 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 etc. And her third piece, Liz, this one is called My Pretzel Experience. It was summertime in the early afternoon, 1957, in Spanish Harlem. We lived back then at 430 East 118th Street between First and Pleasant Avenues. The neighborhood was changing, but there were still many older Italian people. I asked Mama, ¿Puedo ir a la tienda? Mama, can I go to the store? Sí, pero no te cuide. Yes, but don't linger. I stepped outside into the hallway. I always marveled that it smelled clean and was maintained very well by the super. His name was Georgie, but we called him Giorgette. I had to run down 3 flights of stairs and out the door, and then had to navigate the 6 steps down the stoop. I had to make a right, walk all the way to the corner, make another right, and the candy store was right there on the corner of Pleasant Avenue. I entered the store and stopped for a second so my eyes could adjust. I saw a customer standing at the counter, and the store clerk behind him was waiting on him. I was shy, so I approached slowly. The counterman turned his head and looked at me and spoke in English. What do you want? I pointed to the little white boxes with the thin pretzels. The man made a face and sighed heavily with frustration. He addressed the other customer in Italian. Vengono qui tutto il tempo indicano, non parlano inglese. They come here all the time and they just point. Don't they speak English? I'm assuming that's what he said, or at least I think so. The customer shrugged and mumbled something in return. He soon left, and the worker grabbed a box of pretzels, held it up, and pointed, saying in a very loud tone, "Say pretzels." My eyes got big. I was frightened. I took a step back. He kept repeating, "Say pretzels, say pretzels." I opened my mouth and stammered, "Pretzel, pretzel." The man sighed and put the box on the counter. I put the nickel down, grabbed the box, and ran, saying, "Gracias, gracias." I rushed out the door and around the corner, running home with my little box clutched to my chest, my prize. Rushing up the stoop and all those stairs, I reached my door, huffing, puffing. I raced inside, and Mama asked me, "¿Qué te pasa?" I didn't want her to know I was frightened, so I smiled and held up the box of pretzels like a trophy. And because my brothers and sisters were there, I knew I had to share because Mama gave me the look. As the summer marched on, Mama took us to the park where we played games like hide and seek, and we got refreshed by running under the sprinklers. When Mama went shopping to the supermarket, she also took us along. As a result of these activities, my ears were exposed to what my Pentecostal minister father called worldly songs. I would hear songs that I could not understand too well, but I liked the music, such as Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers. At the time, I thought it was interesting that they could sing about someone saying so long to a friend. In the park, when someone had a radio and the song All Shook Up by Elvis came, it would get my feet tapping. I knew I couldn't join the crowd dancing because of my religious background. At home, we were only allowed to listen to Christian music. Towards the fall, we moved from my safe little community and I entered another neighborhood and was completely different. We lived in 27 East 111th Street in a railroad 6-room apartment. Because we lived on the ground floor, we were given a little bit more freedom to go outside. My mom tried to shield us girls from sinful going-ons across the street that women were encouraging, such as prostitution. She said, "Do not look at them or even talk to them. They're bad women." Of course, my curiosity got the best of me, and I was constantly looking in their direction because I wondered what made them so bad. The neighborhood was full of kids, including teenagers. It was then that I learned to play hopscotch, kick the can, double dutch, jump rope, and other games. The teenagers were mostly into themselves. They played the radio, and my ears were exposed to more music. For example, April Love by Pat Boone, Why Do Fools Fall in Love by Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, as well as You Send Me by Sam Cooke, and of course, Jailhouse Rock by Elvis. When we played the radio in the house and listened to this kind of music, we were on the alert for my father's presence, so he wouldn't lecture us and start spouting out scriptures to admonish us.
I would like to sing Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers. Alexa, play Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers.
Okay.
Here's Bye Bye Love by the Everly Brothers on Amazon Music.
Love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello loneliness, I feel like I'm gonna die. Bye my love, goodbye. Where goes my baby with someone new? He sure looks happy, I sure am blue. He was my baby till she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I'm gonna die. Bye bye my love, goodbye. I'm through with romance, I'm through with love, I'm through with counting the stars above. And here's a reason that I'm so free. My loving baby is through with me. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello emptiness, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I'm gonna die. Bye bye my love, goodbye. Bye bye my love, goodbye. Bye bye my love, goodbye. Thank you very much.
I love it, Liz. I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's
It was
fantastic.
great.
American Idol wants to give you all the gold ticket.
Oh my God.
Wonderful, Liz.
I have to admit, I sang
Great.
along with you. That was so good.
Thank you.
That was great, Liz. That was
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very
Thank
That's
you.
another one of my favorite songs, Liz. That's another one. Bye Bye Love.
Yeah.
That's one of my songs. Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
work.
you.
That was very refreshing.
Thank you.
Great
I ain't
talent.
even got water on that one. That was gorgeous.
That put,
Yeah.
yes, that put a
I
smile
really
on my
like
face. Definitely.
Yes.
I like that song so much, I made a hot dog and I ate it. It brought me back to the
Oh my
days.
God.
You remember when the ladies used to come with the roller skates? They used to come with the roller skates and come to the car, and they used to turn around and feed back in the 60s and the 50s. That's what people would have. They'd have the hot dogs and sodas. So I just brought myself back in time thanks to you. Thank you, Liz. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay.
Very nice. Okay, next up is Teresa. Teresa, you there? See.
Hello?
Page.
Yes,
I'm
there
here.
you go. All right.
Okay.
You want to share with us?
Okay. The first one is people that are far away on the phone. I call my friend in Pennsylvania. We talk every night. We call back and forth on the phone. We enjoy talking to each other all the time. She was my mother's friend. They met on the train. We keep in touch all the time. She has 2 sisters. We talk about a lot of things. The next one is I call my friend in Nevada, Vegas. We talk once in a while on the phone. I now wear Long Island long time. I know her long time, all my life. She has 2 sons, one my age. I like to talk to everybody. I like to keep in touch. We talk about a lot of things. Third one, I call my aunt in California all the time. We keep in touch on the phone. I like to talk to her. We talk about a lot of things. I enjoy talking on the phone with her. She is so far away. She tells me a lot of things about the family. Okay, then I'm done with that one. And then number 2 is my song. I like this song. If Heaven Can Wait. It is a beautiful song. A person, a man mad that made this song. He made it in 2013. My friend gave it to me as a tape to me. It made a lot of songs. He made a lot of songs and beautiful, very, very beautiful ones. I'm happy with this song. Number 3, this is my meal. I like to eat steak. Steak while I'm done, and potatoes and corn for dinner. I like this meal. I ate salad with tomatoes and cucumbers and blue cheese dressing. 2, my best meal is meatloaf, mashed potatoes and tomato and a great string beans. It was a very good meal. I like to eat all kinds of food to eat. So much food. With a piece of bread with butter and lemonade to drink. My dessert is apple pie. I like ice cream. Ice cream and on the apple pie with cream. I like to eat a lot of foods. That's the end. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yay!
You're gonna push us to lunch over here.
Let me tell you, that was beautiful. It was beautifully written. Excellent job. Excellent.
Good. Really
You
very
did
good.
excellent.
Nice,
Excellent.
Teresa.
You did excellent, Teresa.
Yeah,
and you have a
pie and
lot of
ice cream.
courage.
Had
God
me at
bless
pie and
you.
ice
Very good, Teresa. Excellent.
And now I want apple.
Yeah, you did. You really
Teresa,
are.
I want a steak. I don't know about anybody else. I want a steak.
A la
I
mode.
want a
That's
steak.
right. Oh, that was
Yep.
good. What an effort. You're precious.
And everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
That was so lovely.
I tried.
You're welcome.
And I
Oh, you
I
did.
came back and tried again.
Beautiful job, Teresa.
Excellent, excellent.
That
I
first
like-
piece,
Yes,
that
I like
people
that
that are
one, too.
far away on the phone, it just felt like that we're all here
Yes.
with you on the phone, you know?
Yes, 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 yes.
Every time I
I like that piece a lot, Teresa.
Yeah.
I think
thank you.
you'll be a good candidate, Teresa, to work for the phone company. You'll be good. You'll be that one that says, reach out and touch someone. They'll love you.
Very nice. Okay. The next up we have Hashim.
Hashim.
So,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'll read my 10 questions and you read the other 2.
Okay.
My 10 questions is entitled Questions, O Lord, Questions. Does the mountain have conversations with the sky? When the bird sings, does the trees listen? Do the flowers whisper, and is each word carried by the gentle breeze? Do mountains, hills, and valleys argue over who's the best? Does the moon get a little rest during the day, and does the sun get any rest at night? How does the sky hold up those fluffy white pillows without dropping one? Does a bird talk to her eggs like a mother talks to the baby in her womb? Is the ground the mother of trees, plants, shrubs, fruits, and vegetables, and so much more? What is it like to hear creation worship you, Jesus? Does the arm of the clock ever get tired? Why does time keep changing, but it still, in some ways, remain the same? When does forever start? Does the house remember all the good times held in and around it? Do animals ever have a peace tree? Does the world ever say, I wish they'd take better care of me? And where does true love go?
Okay. Where does forever start? Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, his next one, Hashim's next one is called My Ewing Basketball, My Ewing Ball, right? And a little shout out, I don't know, Hashim, you probably heard this morning, we lost John Thompson this morning. Ewing's coach at Georgetown passed away this morning.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
very sad.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sorry to hear
Very
that.
sad. Wow. Prayers
So
to the
this
family.
one, this is My Ewing Ball, My Ewing Basketball. Many years ago, back when I was in the 4th grade, my wonderful favorite teacher that I had the great opportunity to have twice gave us a wonderful assignment that changed my life. It's something I will surely stay in my memory for a long time. Mrs. Haven said, I want all of you to write a letter to someone you do not know. As soon as the words left her mouth, I could hear the wheels of my mind spinning and grinding so fast, I thought I was in the middle of a NASCAR race. Since back then I was a huge basketball nut, I played, watched, and ate and breathed basketball. So, of course, I had to write to my favorite player, Patrick Ewing. My friends tried their best to warn me not to send it. You're never going to get a letter back. You're going to fail the assignment, they'd say. Although I refused to believe every single word they said, I soon started to believe them as weeks and months went by. But one day, not only did I receive that letter, but I also got pure gold along with it. I loved that autographed basketball that showed up so much. Nothing else mattered at that time. I had to even yell and argue with my friends who wanted to take it outside and play hoops with it. One day, something horrible happened. My jealous cousin, Shenard, destroyed my beautiful basketball. I was so heartbroken, and I blamed my parents for refusing to buy a case to put it into. That was the day basketball came to a crashing halt. A week later, it was back, and I was out playing again. I still have all the great memories, and that can never be destroyed by my cousin. My Ewing basketball. And his third piece is called Living on a Prayer. The people who know me now would not believe that I would choose a rock song from 1986 as my cultural song of reference. However, this song means a great deal to me, even though it was a slightly different meaning than a couple struggling to make ends meet. My story, as you will read or hear, is more about life and death. A year after that song was released, after going back and forth to this clinic, who we later found out that all that time knew what my problem was, I saw this amazing eye doctor who saw cancer at the back of my right eye. Dr. Sutton advised my parents to quickly take me to the hospital. After Thanksgiving, I was admitted into the hospital for brain cancer. The doctors decided that the best thing to do was to operate. The day of the operation, after removing a bone on the right side of my forehead, left the room in tears, regretting to tell my parents the bad news. They informed my parents that I had stage 4 embedded brain cancer, and there was no way I would make it. Well, my parents each took the bad news very differently. My father cried and bought a grave, while my mother, a huge woman of faith, asked everyone she encountered to pray for me. She even took out ads asking people to pray. After I was released, she dragged me to church after church after church, no matter how bad I felt. Kind of the words in the chorus of the song, oh, we're halfway there. We're living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, we're living on a prayer. My mother tells us we're almost there. We'll keep praying and keep trusting in Jesus. You're gonna make it. I'm sure. I'll hold your hand all the way. 1 year later, after our house was filled with thousands and thousands and thousands of calls and recordings of people praying across the globe, after failed dose treatments of radiation, I had an appointment with Dr. Meeks, and he said, this is amazing. We cannot find any strand of cancer in your body. You're healed. Well, since then, I've been living on a prayer, or should I say, millions of prayers. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love
Amen.
it.
Amen.
I
Amen.
love
Beautiful.
Amen
Very
to that.
good.
What a blessing.
That was great. It was wonderful, Hashem. That was
Absolute blessing, Hashim.
Yes.
that was a blessing. Very good,
Oh
Hashem.
my God.
That is beautiful. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Very touching. Very touching.
Yes.
Very touching.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Amazing. Amen.
Thank you for sharing with us.
You're here. Yes.
And not only is that an incredible and brilliant story, it is just so well written too.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So well
Absolutely.
written.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Thank you.
It
Wow.
is.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And I'll have to share what Carmen said, and we all agreed that the moment he read the Ewing basketball story in class, they were all, everybody in class said, where's that cousin? We're going to get him right now.
Yep. Is he on Zoom right
He's in
now?
witness protection now.
So you better not let us know where the cousin is. Everybody was upset about that
Oh,
basketball.
Oh.
We know where you live.
We know where you live. That's right.
No,
Okay. Go ahead.
I just realized I was unmuted. I thought I was unmuted, but I wasn't. And I just wanted to say I was very inspired by that. And really, prayer can do powerful, powerful things.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. That was Antoinette, right? Is that Antoinette?
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, have trouble with the muting.
No, that's okay. That's okay. All right. Next up, we have Yvonne. Yvonne, you're going to give us Napoleon, I think, is going to do some pieces too. Okay, let's hear it, guys.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm so
Morning.
happy to be
Good morning,
here.
Yvonne.
And everyone have performed beautifully, and you all are going to get trophies. Okay,
You're going to get trophies. Okay.
So my first piece was the school days. Napoleon and myself would do that, and Napoleon would do my Ode to the Sweet Potato, and Dave, if you could do my bells. Okay, Napoleon.
So we're reading School Days first?
Yes.
All right. So this is a joint piece by me and Yvonne. I'll be the narrator in this piece that I'm reading called School Days, and Yvonne will be reading the parts of her mother and herself. The piece is called School Days by Yvonne Whitehurst. Simon Gratz High School Yearbook, class 73 to 65. You can find pictures of various after-school activities, clubs, sports teams that senior class tenured. Yvonne participated in after-school activities by lying to her mother about where she was and why she was always coming home late. You see, her mother never wanted her to stay after school for anything, for safety reasons, of course. She was very strict and overprotective. As a member of the drum majorettes team, she marched with the band at the football games. She could twirl a baton and marched really well, and was a participating member of the World Affairs Club. The World's Affairs Club put on skits and shows that are political in nature. Some shows were comedic, others were traditions and cultures from around the countries in the world. The club coordinator was a world traveler and gathered knowledge and taught it to her students. They knew her by Ms. Sanchez. May 20th, 1964, Yvonne arrived home at 5 p.m.
Yvonne, why are you late? Ma, I had to stay late to the school because the whole class was put in detention. You better not be lying to me. No, Ma. Call the school. Everybody had to stay. You better not be lying to me, because if you are, you're going to be in trouble. All right. Go wash your hands. It's time to eat.
Yvonne's sisters were in the background giggling because they knew what was really going on. A day later,
Yvonne, where have you been? You better have a good lie this time. Mom, it's the truth. The bus broke down. I had to walk all the way home. Don't you see how I'm sweating? Where did this bus break down? Over on Pulaski Street. I'm gonna call the bus company to find out if there was a bus breakdown. And what do you have in that book bag? It looks very suspicious. It don't look like it's too many books in there. It's just books.
Yvonne's mom snatches the backpack from Yvonne. Her drum major uniform falls out and everything's on the floor.
What is this? What have you been doing? What is this?
Yvonne is frightened. She can't think of any lies.
Meeting. Alert. Ellen has joined the meeting.
But Ma, I didn't want to tell you because you never let me do anything. You never let me be in anything. What do you mean? Ma, I've always been lying because you never let me do anything. I stayed after school attending our high school games.
Look, Lindsay Lewis left parent, she's /her right parent, that's her over.
How did the school
The meeting.
let you do that without my permission? I signed your name to the permission slip. So now you're forging my name? You're getting a beating. And I'm going up there to that school.
Yvonne and her mother went to the school and asked to speak with the principal. She wants to discuss how Yvonne was allowed to participate without her mother's permission. Her principal called Miss Sanchez into the office, and in the end, Miss Sanchez apologizes for not checking the school records for the signatures. She pleaded with Yvonne's mother not to be angry because she was a valuable student. Miss Sanchez requested to allow Yvonne to attend after-school activities, accepting full responsibility for her safety. A chart was made for after-school activities where Miss Sanchez would document date and time of Yvonne's participation. And she had to show that to her mother. Miss Sanchez also gave Yvonne's mother her contact information. Yvonne's mother embraced her daughter's after-school activities that she started to come and show her support for her daughter's participation. The end.
What a drama. Wow. Nice.
Very good, Yvonne.
And you guys are great
that was-
work together. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Yvonne.
Me too.
Wow.
That was very touching. But
Love it.
Definitely.
I was very touched, Yvonne, by all the parts, especially the parts you tell me the truth. Because I remember those days when you have to tell the truth, even though you're telling the truth.
True.
Yeah, I'm glad it out okay.
You're very determined.
Okay, sweet potato?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tato?
Yes. So in this next piece, it is titled Sweet Potatoes by Yvonne Whitehurst. Sweet potatoes, why I like sweet potatoes. I can bake it, top it with butter and whipped cream. I can mash it and put crushed pineapples and marshmallows. I can slice it, fire it up on the pan. I can mix it with spices, flavor sugar, eggs, and milk to make pies, turnover, and tarts. Sweet potatoes come in various sizes and colors. They bring vibrance to the plate and all sorts of delectables. If I can be any vegetable, I'd be a sweet potato. Sweet potato, you can do anything with me.
All right. Those yams. Napoleon, can you read the my bells? I don't seem to see it on my computer here. Do you have a copy of it? Okay.
I have it here.
Okay.
I have it here. In this next and last piece by Yvonne Whitehurst is called My Bell Collection. Sorry, guys, excuse me. My bell collection started when a friend of mine passed away. He willed me his collection of unique bells and wind chimes. My friend knew I loved bells. My interest in bells started way earlier. See, I'm from the state of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the historical Liberty Bell was built. which stands for independence. I remember in elementary school, our class used to take trips to see the Liberty Bell and other historical places like the Betsy Ross House, where the United States flag was made. I took a liking to the bell that I received from my friend. My collection are from countries like Peru, Brazil, different parts of South America and Africa. I also have bells from different states. I find myself collecting bells from my travels around the United States. I keep these bells in an old Timex display case that spins, equipped with lights that allow you to see the bells in their exquisite forms. Each has its own unique sound, which has, each has its own unique sound, such as my Peruvian bell sounds like a cathedral bell. Some souvenir bells from around the States sound like Tinker bells. When I visited VCB camp, a bell rang to indicate breakfast was served, but people were standing at the ready. Bells can be put together to create music. The many bells I collect exhibit different sounds and others, a chime. I am not sure of the metals the bells are made from, but I believe that's why they sound different. The bells I inherited are of significant value, and I have no intent to sell. I find bells interesting. I even gave away bells at my wedding.
Wedding bells. All right.
Right.
Beautiful, Yvonne.
And just for the record, what I read is great. It's a wonderful piece written by Yvonne, but that does not do it justice. If you were to see the actual display case, Lord, I tell you, that is a beautiful display case. Those bells, the way they look in there, it's marvelous to look at. She showed me a video, she turned off the light, and it was just like, what? It was like Christmas.
Wow. Great job, Yvonne.
Very beautiful display.
Yes, and I've seen them. They look just like Christmas.
It definitely has museum-like, her display is a museum-like quality.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
What a joy! Wow.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's bells. I love bells.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
They always remind me of beautiful things and spiritual things. I like bells.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yvonne. Brilliant
You're
work.
welcome.
Brilliant work.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Okay, next up is Carolina and Omar.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be reading Carolina's work. The first.
Wait, which one do you
writing-
have, Omar? Which one you have?
I have writing sounds.
Yes.
And then I have the 10. I have the poem to your mom in a.
Yes.
In the acronym style. And then last one we have the questions. Yes.
Yeah. I have to give you a few titles. The last one, I don't think I put the title, but the first piece is about the alarm clock. Okay, so you could do that one, Omar, if you want.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so this is Carolina's work writing about sounds done in May 20. So, alarm clock. Ring, ring, ring. This alarm sound has woke me up for so many years. Since my school years, I always had a clock ringing at my ear. It is one of these items I have never parted from. Ready to go. Ring, ring, ring. It's Monday. Get ready to work. Ring, ring, ring. Go ready. Back to school was a routine from Monday to Friday in my early years. Since we started the year 2020, there are no particular places to go or rush to. Alarm clock has been silenced. The world has been shut down. There is a pandemic. Not many businesses are open. Just essential items can be purchased at any time, any day, and there is no need for the alarm clock ring. Shh, shh. It's a silent year 2020. a silent year, no doctor's appointments, no school to attend to, no jobs to go to. Carolina Ball.
That's the end.
That's the end. All right, and the next is titled Mommy.
Magnificent Lady.
Magnificent lady, open hands and heart with unconditional love. More than have.
Wait, we cannot hear you.
Give me, I cannot never ask. Mother, like who I am, you are in my heart. Did you lose me? Did you lose my?
Yeah, can you start all over?
All right, so sorry about that. Let me check my sound. Let me go a little bit higher. There you go. All right, so magnificent lady, open hands and heart with unconditional love. More than you have given me, I can never ask. Mother like you means a whole world to me. You have created who I am. You are in my heart. I will always love you forever. Carolina Ball. All right, so the next one and last one is the questions. As they mentioned, we were working inspired by a Chilean Nobel Prize, Pablo Neruda, and I really enjoyed the work of everybody. That was the most hilarious and interesting questions I hear. So this is Carolina's questions. Can you sing like a bird? Can you compose music like Mozart? If you like music, what can you do? Can you feel the music? Does music make you happy? Can you dance can you dance to the rhythm? Can music make you fall in love? And the last ones, do you like photography? Would you like to take a picture? Do you like pretty or not so pretty pictures? Can a picture tell stories? And that's the end of the writings from Carolina Bolo. Thank you, Carolina.
Yeah.
Bravo. Bravo.
Carolina, who's the magnificent lady?
That's my mom.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
So for every the title is called Mommy, and for every letter, Carolina acronym poem style. So for every letter, she started writing a sentence.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
beautiful point. I love that point.
Thank you, Catalina.
Yeah.
Thank you
Beautiful.
very much. That was wonderful.
Very nice.
I have put I was talking to a friend and I have put a piece of a song. It's by Cher. And it was just the way she sings it, her voice with the music, it just catches my ear so nicely. It's just the combination. And too bad that she's not here to sing it because she would have done a beautiful job. Huh?
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is If I
could turn back time.
If I could turn
if I can turn back time. Yes.
That's
I know that
great
song.
song.
Yeah, sure.
I like that song. Yes.
Good song.
Yep.
Find a way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's a makeup
That's a beautiful
commercial on
song.
TV
Yeah,
that uses that song as a jingle.
Yeah. But isn't that her voice? Her voice is so beautiful the way she sings it. Yeah. If I could reach the stars, I'll give it all to you. Isn't that? I love that.
Nice, Carolina.
Beautiful.
Go, girl.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah, you got it.
Work.
Yeah. And
Nice.
usually the words is when you're young, right? It sort of like brings you back when you're young and you have this puppy love type of thing, you know. It's
Well,
really
that's an
wonderful.
interesting choice in the light of our title of our own histories, right? And so the idea of turning back time. That's
Yes,
very
exactly.
interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Now listen to that song. It's gorgeous. I love the way she
Yeah.
sings it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of my project for
Well,
the
thank you.
for the
You did a
year.
great job. Great work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
just
everybody.
so you guys know, I know we're running a little over time. We normally finish at 1 o'clock. We have 4 more artists to go. We have John, Mary, Helen, and Elizabeth.
Oh,
So
great.
if you can hang with us, or if you have to have lunch, just keep it keep us on, and you can eat as well. But
I'm
next
good.
up is
I'm
John Ferrard is going to have a hot dog at the ballpark. You can go and
Okay.
have
Oh, cool.
So,
Nice.
John,
Okay.
let's hear what
That's
you
nice.
Go ahead, John.
You're up, John.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, John, go ahead, please.
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, this first piece is about having a hot dog at the ball game. It just wouldn't be a day at the ballpark without one. Once I enter Yankee Stadium, 1.5 to 2 hours before the first pitch, with the help of one of the How May I Help You volunteers at the stadium, one of the first places I go to is the concession stand to purchase my hot dog, and I add some mustard and ketchup to it, and sometimes some onions and a little sauerkraut. And I also purchase either a cup or a bottle of any Pepsi beverage, Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. Normally, I'm a Coke guy, Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite. And then once I purchase the hot dog and soda with the help of one of the volunteers, I'm escorted to my assigned seat at the stadium for the game. And while I'm waiting until the game starts, I eat my hot dog and I wash it down with either Pepsi or Diet Pepsi. Then I wait until the game starts, and then I just sit back, relax, and enjoy the Yankee game and root for the Yankees. And that's pretty much my day at the ballpark. And the next piece is about growing up a Yankee fan. Ever since I can remember, I was a die-hard, lifelong Yankee fan. I grew up idolizing the likes of Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, and of course Mickey Mantle. And in later years, Bobby Mercer, Mel Stottlemyre, Willie Randolph, Thurman Munson, and Mr. October himself, Reggie Jackson. And in even later years, the core four themselves, Andy Pettit, Jorge Posada, Mariano Rivera, and the captain, Derek Jeter. And by the way, of all of the active and retired Yankees who have worn the pinstripes, those who are still living, one of the Yankees I would like to meet one day is Derek Jeter. I've been present at some of his monumental moments, like September 11, 2009, when Derek Jeter became the Yankees' all-time franchise leader in base hits, when he collected number 2,722, surpassing the Iron Man Lou Gehrig. Then on July 9, 2011, one of the greatest games that I ever attended, Derek Jeter made history by becoming the first Yankee in franchise history to collect 3,000 hits. His hit was a home run, which he got off David Price, who at the time was pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays, and the place went wild. As he was circling the bases and coming home, all of his teammates were there at home plate to greet him and congratulate him. It was such an emotional and memorable moment, and I started tearing up, by the way. And then on September 25th of 2014, Derek Jeter played his last game at Yankee Stadium. It was the final regular season game of that year. And in the bottom half of the ninth inning with the score tied, Derek Jeter won the game in walk-off fashion with a base hit to right field. The Yankees won that game, by the way. Oh, by the way, going back to the July 9th game, which he got number 3,000, Jeter went 5 for 5, and the Yankees won 5-4. And then there's Mariano Rivera, the Sandman. I was there at the stadium on September 19th of 2011 when he made history himself by notching the 602nd save of his Major League career, striking out the last Minnesota Twins batter. Then I was there one sunny summer afternoon on a Sunday for Mariano Rivera Day. All of his teammates, plus his family, and the widow and daughter of Jackie Robinson, the first African-American player in Major League Baseball history. They were there to honor him. And then there was the final game he ever pitched, which was appropriately at Yankee Stadium. He came out of the dugout, not out of the dugout, but out of the bullpen to the mound. And the 8th inning to the 9th inning, he retired all 4 Tampa Bay batters he faced. And then Joe Girardi, who was the manager at the time, asked Derek Jeter and Andy Pettitte to go to the mound to take him out. And Mo was crying in both of their arms. And the ovation, it was pretty much deafening. The sellout crowd also chanted, "Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo." Oh, and one other thing. On that day, Mariano Rivera Day, the heavy metal band Metallica was there in person to play his theme song, Enter Sandman. Let's see. These 2 Baseball Hall of Famers and 5-time Yankee World Champions, they are true icons. Derek Jeter finished his career with 3,465 base hits and a .310 batting average, and Mariano Rivera finished his career with 652 saves. I could go on and on with so many memorable stories about Yankee games at the stadium. I've been to almost 1,000 of them, but it would take forever, and that's what I call growing up a Yankees fan. And now I'm going to sing this original song about America. I spell it out the way Eddie Arnold spelled out the title of his holiday song called Christmas. I wrote the poem and I pretty much set it to music, and I hope you all like it. The amber waves of beautiful harvested grain. M is for the mountains and the valleys, prairies and plains. E is for equality with liberty and justice for all. R is for the rivers and the oceans that rise and fall. I is for independence and the immigrants who founded this land. C is for our country, our birthplace, our home and our land. A is for the amendments, the rights of everyone, including you and me. This is how I spell America, the home of the brave, the land of the free, from sea to shining sea. This is the house that I live in. This is the place that I work in. This is the church and synagogue where we go to worship and pray. We have the right to be who we want. We have the right to do what we want. We have the right to say what we want
truth and justice and the American way. A is for the amber waves, the beautiful harvested grain. M is for the mountains and the valleys, prairies and plains. E is for equality, with liberty and justice for all. R is for the rivers and the oceans that rise and fall. I is for independence and the immigrants who founded this land. C is for our country, our birthplace, our home and our land. A is for the amendments, the rights of everyone, including you and me. This is how I spell America, the home of the brave, the land of the free, from sea to shining sea.
That's wonderful,
Wow.
John.
Oh,
Wow. Amazing. Thank you, John.
You may win the
Very
next
welcome.
national anthem.
Very, very
I
nice.
love it.
Well done.
Made me want to get a hot dog. I must tell you, to take the ball game.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
great.
I'm hungry.
Hot
That
dog.
hot dog tastes good.
Great song, John.
Thank you. I'm glad you all love the song.
Wonderful.
I love how you play the guitar, John. It's excellent.
That was very good. It was patriotic.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Even my homemade Aisha is applauding. This song is for everyone, whether they were born here or not.
Aww.
That is brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, it really was brilliant. Yes.
I have to say, we have a really excellent group of performers here.
Amazing.
Yes, we do.
Amazing.
I
Very
am
talented.
so thrilled to be
Very
working
talented.
with all you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Extremely so. Wow. Beautiful.
I think seventh inning stretch has your name written all over it, John. You're going to be performing at Yankee Stadium soon. Wow, that is great
Maybe-
stuff.
I love that song.
Maybe they'll ask me one day to sing the national anthem, and maybe
There
God
you
bless
go.
America during the
Hey, that'll be
seventh inning
perfect
stretch.
for you. I believe it's going to
That'd be
happen.
great.
I
Great.
believe it can
Written the
happen.
next national
I
anthem,
think you should
John.
sing that song.
Yeah, sing this original. I like the original song. Yeah.
How's your
Thank
pitching
you,
on?
John. Very nice.
You're very welcome, Dave. Everybody.
That was.
Thank you very much.
We really liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Mary Connor. Mary, there you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. There you go. All right.
Ah.
You got it. Okay, so what would you like to do first, Mary?
I'm gonna do my 10 questions first, and then I'll let you read Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn Queen, and then I'll do the song God Bless the Child.
Okay, great.
Okay. This is my questions. Why does the sky seem so far away? Why does the water make the ground crack when always wet? Why do animals smell food so far away without being near? Why? Ooh, are animals really smiling when happy? How smart are animals? What do babies and animals dream about? Is the world dumb, stupid, or slow? Which one, or all of the above? why do we have certain fears? Let me turn my page here. Why are things and people sometimes difficult without a reason? And my last question is happiness really happy, so to speak? That's the end of the questions.
Okay, beautiful. And the next piece is called Brooklyn, Queens, and the South. I was born in Brooklyn. When I was young, I lived on Bristol Street with my family in the same building with 2 other aunts and their families. So I had lots of cousins to play with, and we were a bunch of kids on the block, and it didn't matter who they were. We were all friends and neighbors. And if our neighbors saw us do something wrong, they would spank us. Mother would be told, and then we'd get spanked by her. Father would be told, and he would get spanked by him. So we got 3 beatings in one for the same crime. Then I went to PS 90 in Brooklyn. That is where I learned Braille. And then I finally moved to Queens to a house, and I grew up there. I went to PS 133 and continued to Braille, and finally I was able to read print, and I was transferred to the site conservation class. From there, I went to JS 217 to junior high, and I went to high school at Richmond Hill High. I still enjoyed visiting my cousins and aunt every weekend back in Brooklyn, and I joined other aunts when I used to go to church on Sunday who lived in the Albany projects in Brooklyn. I had lots of fun with those cousins and friends as well. And mind you, all the aunts and uncles could cook. We had some of the best Southern soul food like collard greens, mac and cheese, pig feet, barbecue ribs, ham, steak, sweet potato pies, you name it. Still in my younger years, we went down south a lot in the summer. And my grandmothers with the preserves and the food and the cakes, we didn't ever want to come back. Brooklyn, Queens, and the South by Mary Connor.
Now, my last is a song that I used to love to do. My very first jazz song by Billie Holiday. And I always used to sing it at open mics, and I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's called God Bless the Child. I'm going to play it on my machine. I hope you can hear it. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
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 Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. For the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. You know the strong get more, while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets never make the grade, 'cause your mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who got his own. Money, you've got friends crowding round your door, and when it's gone and spending ends, they don't come around you no more. Rich relations give, crust the bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't take too much, 'cause your mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who got his own. Money, you've got friends crowding around your door, and when it's gone and all the spending is, those friends don't want to see you, they won't come around you no more. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much, 'cause your mama may have, and your papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own, his own.
Yeah, I like that song. That was one of my favorites.
Beautiful.
Very
Good
nice.
job, Mary.
Nice voice, Mary.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it too.
Nice.
Were you able to hear the music?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
oh, you have a great voice, lady.
Everything was clear.
I enjoy your voice, Mary.
He's cutting in
Is
and
that a
out.
recording of your band or
Is it?
something? Was it a recording of your band? Where did
Yes.
you get the music?
Wait a minute. My phone keeps cutting in and out.
How did you get the background music? She asked.
What did you say?
How did you get the background music?
Oh, I put it on a flash drive.
Cause you sound like the Albin. I could have closed my eyes and I thought you was there.
Yeah, boy, you were beautiful.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, Mary.
Beautiful.
I like it.
Good boy. What
Very,
a
very beautiful.
oh, excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Gosh, that was beautiful.
I was going to use the karaoke version of the last song I did, but I couldn't figure out how to set it up. So,
Well, you did a good job at what you did do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary, yes.
Mary. I love it.
Great voice. Great voice. She does.
Thank you.
You have a great bunch of musicians in this group.
Yeah,
I believe
talent.
I believe that saying too. God blesses the child that has his own.
It's
I really
yeah,
believe
gee
that.
whiz.
Yeah. Because it reminds me.
It especially goes now because this world is crazy now.
Yeah, because if you,
That was just incredible.
Yep.
Incredible
Yeah.
work. Incredible work.
We have to do our part.
Okay.
So true.
We've got two more. Helen and then Elizabeth. Helen, are you with us?
Hi, yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes. Okay,
I hear
great.
you.
Okay,
Clear.
so I'm unmuted. Okay, I wrote a poem about food. Okay, it starts with, when you touch me, I am plump and firm, wild and untamed. When ripened, ready to be plucked by you, whether small or big, does not matter. Best time to taste me is when I'm fresh and juicy. Once you taste my sweetness in your palate, you'll crave me more. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll crave more of me. I stand for the color of love, shaped like your beating heart. I'm also symmetrical, edible too. When I'm bruised on the outside, best leave me be, for I'll taste sour on your lips. I'm red and luscious, temptation itself. What am I? Why a strawberry? Okay, let me pull up the file for the next one. Okay, it's a short story. It is called Wind Beneath My Wings, dedicated to my grandmother, Yap. Thank you, Grandma Yap, for changing my life and being the wind beneath my wings. In the early years, as an infant, my grandmother raised me and my parents went to work. Grandma Yap was extremely wise, patient, and a brilliant cook. She was always there for me and had utmost faith in me to excel in whatever I did. She was my tower of strength and stood in the shadows cheering me on. My grandma only had a second grade education and was married off at the age of 16. It was an arranged marriage, and it wasn't a happy one either. Grandma Yap loved me unconditionally and kept me well grounded. She taught me to value education and asked me to experience life first and before settling down to marriage. The values she raised me with in the early infant and toddler years stayed imprinted in my mind as I matured to adulthood. My grandmother, Yap, was there in every step of the way with me when I graduated from college, when I got my first teaching job, and also when I got married. She was my pillar of strength and my rock. When I think of her, this song lyrics called Wind Beneath My Wings, sung by Bette Miller, comes to my mind. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you, Grandma. The end.
That's beautiful, Helen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.
I love
really
your
like
riddle
how you
too.
incorporated. Yeah,
Beautiful,
incorporated
Helen.
it.
That was very
Thank you.
I love it. It's just like soup. Everything blend together. Thank you.
Oh, that was
Excellent.
Good,
Wow.
Helen.
yes,
Very nice, Helen. Love your voice.
very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have one
Thanks.
more to go. Helen, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. And our last performer for the day, I want to thank everybody again for sticking with us. You guys are amazing, all our audience out there. We have Elizabeth Tarr.
Alrighty. So I'll read my questions first. The title is called Things that make you go, huh? Are plates really pancakes made of glass? Do cornbread and grits feel like braille letters to be read with your tongue? Where do the right track and wrong tracks intersect? What sound does the human make according to animals? Is it better to be kissed by the sun or hugged by a tree? What if oceans were made from tears of humans and animals? Should second chances be more like stars or comets? If life and the world were perfect, would lessons be learned or character built? And the last question, if there were a parachute for falling in love, would you want it? Okay. Next, I will sing my Krispy Kreme song. I'll be playing the guitar as well, so please bear with me. The guitar plays me. All right, here we go. Light and fluffy, soft just like a cloud, sugar setting the lace, melting in my mouth. enchanted moons. My taste buds dance and see. Oh, sorry. There is magic in the silky buttercream. Krispy Kreme, donut of my dreams, delicious name. My life is not the same since Krispy Kreme. Sweet addiction, confectionery bliss, pure perfection wrapped up in a donut kiss. Taste of heaven, I feel like I'm in love with every bite, a flood of euphoria. Krispy Kreme, donut of my dreams, delicious name. My life is not the same since Krispy Kreme. Ooh, Krispy Kreme. Okay, there's that, and
I love it.
Wow.
thank you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Yes, hold on one second. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
I can't get
Guys, that was beautiful. The song about the Krispy Kreme going to make me go out there and get it right now. I think we should give her a hand. Let us give her a hand. That was beautiful.
That was awesome.
Yes, that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to share.
I'm calling Krispy Kreme today. Tell them they got
I'd like
new single.
Online, so
I would like to share, and I am not
everything's
ashamed of.
done on the line and
I walked into a Walgreens and they had a whole shelf of Krispy Kreme donut boxes. And I bought, yeah, I don't know. I can't find a center here in the city. I don't know. I got to go online and probably check. But I was able to go to my Walgreens and they had Krispy Kreme there. I literally snatched the life out of that box, like as if someone was going, like it was going out of style. And I can't tell you how your song was stuck in my head. So thank you for that. Because when I took it home, in my greediness, I took it home. And let me tell you, I only had one donut because my family got a taste of it and they all just snatched it up with coffee.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
That's it.
So now you have a song to go with.
There you got a
I'm
song.
going to
That's right.
42nd Street to get me a donut.
You got me going now, Elizabeth.
Wow.
Thank you.
Krispy Kreme. We're gonna go there
Thank you,
at some
Elizabeth.
point.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
I really do. To get more
Wow.
donuts. Oh my
And
gosh. I'm hungry, Elizabeth.
I love it.
So I'm gonna get Dunkin' Donuts. Beautiful song. I love
Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed it. I do have one more piece. It's
Okay, one last one for today. Okay, here we go.
You should have left that for last.
You want to leave it there?
The best
She's
for
got a
last,
moment
yes.
to top it off. This is the show topper. Here we go.
Well,
One more.
I can skip this other one.
Just
No,
give
no,
us
no,
the
no,
song.
please.
Give us the song.
Please.
You got it. Give us a little
okay.
song. Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll just give you the song. It's a
Okay.
Korean song.
This is in Korean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'll just sing the chorus. It's about how God is fair, and it was written by a poet who has cerebral palsy, in Korea. So even though their attitude toward disabilities in Korea is very unfair and negative, she still says that God is fair. So. 공평하신 하나님이
What, you want to go?
가진 건 없지만 공평하신 하나님이 난 남이 없는 것 같게 하셨네. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. It's
Wow. Beautiful.
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 Hauntingly beautiful.
Boy, what talent. Boy, got a lot of talent today. Whoa.
I want to thank you guys. Thank everybody for so much incredible work, and thank our audience, and thank our funders for
Sharing your
being with us,
talent. Wow.
and for
Listen to
all.
us. Thank you.
And it was just amazing. And I know you stayed on with us much longer than we anticipated. But these are incredible performers, incredible performances.
They are,
Big round of
yes.
applause to everybody today.
Oh,
You did incredible work. Incredible work.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave, you and Napoleon, and Omar and Susan. You guys did
Thank you,
wonderful.
Omar, Susan. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you for
Thank you,
challenging us.
everybody. Yeah.
I hope we can do this again.
Well, I hope so too. I hope so too. We're going to see if we can make it happen again. And a big thank you to teachers and writers for bringing this all together and making this happen. Sorry, Amanda, Nancy, all those folks in the office that make this behind the scenes, make it go. And again, thank you so much to our audience today, friends and family. And again, to our donors, both at Aroha and also with Agnes Gunn. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful remainder of what's left of this summer. Please be well, stay safe out there, and we hope to see you again soon and to be able to put together another program very, very soon.
Yes. Thank you, Dave.
Stay safe.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
everybody.
For sharing, everyone. Happy lunch.
Yeah, happy Krispy Kreme. Happy lunch.
Krispy Kreme. Take care.
Happy lunch.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
That was
Thank you for everything.
amazing. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.